This video explains how to configure history trend, also known as historical data storage. We can save the tag data collected in the database as historical data. For example, the data of the drain valve like we did before, or the operation of the liquid level and the situation of the flow meter. We want to query some historical data for it. Here we need to click on the History Trend function and double-click to enter the editing page. In the configuration interface of the function, you can see that there is a trend tag. Then right-click to add the trend tag. You can select the tag you need to store, such as discharge valve, fill valve, flow meter, level meter. We can select a certain tag individually, or we can perform multiple selection of Ctrl or Shift for the tag. Click OK. You can also click a trend database tag here. We can give it multiple choices or a single choice. Click OK. Here you can see the name, description, and type of tags. We currently support 3 types of tags for storage: integer, real, and switch. Double-click the tag to configure the storage time, such as storing once per second, or every 2 seconds, 5 seconds. The maximum is to store and collect every 30 seconds. Of course, we can also set the storage accuracy. Here, we suggest using the default setting. After configuration, click OK. There is also a minimum range and a maximum range and the high limit of the range. The second step, we can see here that there are historical data servers. In the same way, we can also right-click to add a historical data server. Select the server node. You can store the collected data on any node under this project. Check it and click OK. Or you can also make modifications to the server. Here we choose the default configuration and click OK. After adding the historical data server, we need to check the group of operations stored below, because here we can see that there is only one tag group. In actual use, we may have multiple groups. You need to select these tags for historical data server storage. For example, we only select tag group 0 and 1. 1 is memory-driven, 1 is Modbus-driven, or you can continue to select other tag groups to store in this server. So if there are multiple historical data servers, it may be able to store the tag group O, tag group 10-30, or Thesa tags of other groups. After checking, we can click Save. You can click to check one by one, or right-click to select all. In this way, all the groups will be stored in this server. After configuration, we click Save. Here is a trend database settings. We can choose a file generated by the historical data store. For example, generate a historical file every 12 hours, or 8 hours, 4 hours, and so on. The second configuration option is the retention time. The default historical data storage will be automatically deleted after 30 days. Of course, you can also set it to 0. Then the saved data will never be deleted, unless your computer's hard drive storage capacity is full. After the configuration is completed, we click OK and save it. In this way, the configuration of historical trend we made will take effect. How to query the historical data of the tag. We can add a page to the graphics here. For example, naming historical data. Then we edit it. In the new graphic page, we can add a historical trend table control. It can help us to query historical data. Double-click, we can bind the tag we need to query. You can select a single one or multiple tags. And then click Apply. OK. The configuration takes effect here, then we click Save Flowchart. Save. Then close the page and save the project. Then we publish the main state. Publish the project. At the end of the release, we exit the current page. Start monitoring and running. Click OK. Here we wait for the service to start. We can also right-click to log in. Select Admin Account and enter the lowercase password admin. And click OK. Here, we can enter any value 9.3. Right-click to open the screen. And open the historical data screen we just made. We can see there is a historical trend query. And we can see that the drain valve we just adjusted went from 0 to 9.3. Here, we can query its historical data. We can set its start time and the query period, such as once per second or once per 5 seconds. Of course, we can also set a 5-minute query or a 1-minute query. We can also select the point and the tag during the group monitoring operation period. We can also query some other tags or set the display color. Similarly, we can also export the queried results. It can be exported as a CSV format table. Select the path and file name. Click Save. Saved successfully. So that's the history trend.